Antarctica Volcanoes and Volcanic Fields. We start with the Beethoven Peninsula. The Beethoven Peninsula consists of overlapping shield volcanoes that have been potassium-argon dated to 6 to 13 million years ago. Potassium-argon dates at 2.27 million years ago and perhaps 1.4 million years ago have also been obtained. Mount Andros. Mount Andros is a shield volcano 3.2 kilometers southeast of Mount Boninghausen in the southeast extremity of Ames Range in Mary Bird Land, Antarctica. Mapped by USGS from surveys in U.S. Navy air photos, and those were done in 1964 and 68, and named by U.S. ACAN for Lieutenant Carl H. Andros, U.S. Navy medical officer and officer in charge of Bird Station in 1964. Andros has a 4.5 kilometer wide caldera at its summit. Weak fumarolic activity was detected in 1977 at Mount Kaufman in the northern end of the Ames Range, of which Mount Andros is the southernmost volcano. The westward face of Mount Andros is drained by the Coleman Glacier, with significant crevicing present. And this is Mount Andros here. Let's see if we can get it to come in a little clearer. We'll do a tilt. Oops. There we go. This is Mount Andros here. And it's a little harder to see with the snow, but you can see it's here. And our next one is Argo Point. Argo Point is a scoria cone in Jason Peninsula, Antarctica, at the height of 360 meters or 1,180 feet above sea level. Associated with the seal Nunatak, the cone has a diameter of 300 meters or 980 feet, and its snow-filled crater has a gap on its northern side. The cone is constructed on a formation of lava and scoria over 574 feet thick, which may lie on Jurassic rocks. That's wild. So we'll pull back here. And we get a view. Move my drink here. And I hope y'all are seeing this clear enough. The next one is Beaufort Island. Beaufort Island is the remains of a basaltic stratovolcano of unknown age. It is semicircular in shape. So let's draw back a little bit. We can get a view here. This is Beaufort Island here. You see it from this end to this end. We get a view go around. And it's semicircular in shape and kind of oblong. But you can see the semicircles out this way. I don't know if we have any views in this area. Some of these do, and I've noticed some don't. So moving on to the next one, Mount Berlin. Mount Berlin is the sixth highest volcano in Antarctica, located 16 kilometers west of Mount Moulton and Mary Bird Land, near the eastern coast of the Ross Sea. It is composed of two coalesced shield volcanoes, Melville Peak, which is 3,000 meters, and Berlin Crater, which is 3,478 meters. The volcanic structure is considered active, as streaming fumaroles have been observed near the rim of the northern and western calderas, producing fumarolic ice towers. So, wow. And moving on to the next one, Mount Bird. Mount Bird is 5,791 feet high. It's a shield volcano standing about 11 kilometers or 7 miles south of Cape Bird, the northern extremity of Ross Island. It was mapped by British National Antarctic Expedition in 1901 to 1904 under Robert Falcon Scott, and apparently named by them after Cape Bird. And you can see this is Ross Island here. This is Mount Bird here. Always neat things to see here. Our next one is Black Island. Black Island is volcanic in origin, consisting of a series of trachytic lava domes and basaltic pyroclastic cones. Potassium argon dating of Black Island volcanic rocks gives ages ranging from 1.69 million years to 3.8 million years old. And it looks like this is water down here. I was looking at the different colors. Our next one is Bridgman Island. Bridgman Island is an almost circular volcanic island marked by steep sides, 0.8 kilometers or 0.5 miles long, and 787 feet high, lying 37 kilometers east of King George Island. Bridgman Island is located and has an elevation of 787 feet. Bridgman Island is the remnants of a much larger volcanic edifice that is now largely submerged. The eroded volcano does not display youthful volcanic features. Several reports of 19th century fumarolic activity may instead refer to the much younger Penguin Island. Brown Peak. Brown Peak, information for it is located on a list of volcanoes in Antarctica. Does not give any more information. Mount Bercy. Mount Bercy consists of two coalescing shield volcanoes named Hut Peak and Corner Bluff. Each shield contains 2.5 to 3.1 diameter caldera. At its summit, potassium-argon dating has indicated both shields formed during the Miocene epoch, with volcanism at Hut Peak occurring as recently as 0.49 million years ago. Starbuck Crater is a volcanic cone on the mountain. And we'll move to Starbuck Crater, which is over here. Starbuck Crater is a small filled crater at the base of the west slope of Mount Bercy Massif and Mary Bird Land. So let's go back and maybe we can see it better. You can see it's here. But sorry, the views on here aren't the best. Moving on to the next one, Coleman Island. Coleman Ice Island is an ice-covered island composed of several connected shield volcanoes in the Ross Sea off Antarctica. It is 18 miles long and 8 miles and is located 17 kilometers or 9 miles southeast of Cape Jones, Victoria Land. The Coleman Caldera, 3 miles wide and 2,300 feet deep, can be found on the south end of the island. Emperor penguins habitate this island. Coleman Island lies within the boundaries of Ross Dependency, which is claimed by New Zealand, a claim unrecognized by most other states. It was discovered in 1841 by Sir Captain Clark Ross, who named it for his father-in-law, Thomas Coleman. A notable landmark of this island is Cape Ann, the southeasternmost point of the island, so named by Sir James Clark Ross for his wife. Cape Wadsworth is the northernmost part of this island. And you can see how long the island is. It's from here to here. The next one is Deception Island. Let me see if I can get a better view here. Okay, well, not the best, but here we go. Deception Island. The island is the caldera of an active volcano, which seriously damaged local scientific stations in 1967 and 1969. The center of the island is a caldera formed in a huge VEI 6 eruption, which had been flooded by the sea to form a large bay, now called Port Foster, about 5.6 miles long and 3.7 miles wide, which is really neat. I don't know, we may have a view here, but I don't know, so we'll see. Yes, we do. Okay, so we're going to go right here. And it's always neat when we can have views in certain areas. So what's that? Fishing boats. And yes, there's people that live down here. Most of them are scientists and researchers. Let me see, we had one from higher up, so we'll go higher up. We'll go up here. Here we go. Now we might have a better look. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, moving on to the next one. Mount Discovery. Mount Discovery is an isolated stratovolcano lying at the head of McMurdo Sound. And east of Paulette Glacier, overlooking the northwest portion of Ross Ice Shelf. It forms the center of three-armed mass, of which Brown Peninsula is one extension to the north, Mina Bluff is the second to the east, and the third is Mount Morning to the west. So that's it there. And we do not have any views in this area. And moving on to the next one, Mount Erebus. Mount Erebus is the second highest volcano in Antarctica after Mount Sidley and the southernmost active volcano on Earth. It is the sixth highest ultramountain on the continent with a summit elevation of 12,448 feet. It is located in the Ross Dependency on Ross Island, which is also home to three inactive volcanoes, Mount Terror, Mount Bird, and Mount Terra Nova. Several craters are located at the summit, including Side Crater, a nearly circular crater named for its location on the side of a mountain summit cone. The volcano has been active since about 1.3 million years ago and is the site of Mount Erebus Volcano Observatory run by New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology. The volcano was the site of Air New Zealand Flight 901 accident, which occurred in November of 1979. 1 second, guys. And I don't know if we have any views on this one, so I'm going to go back a little bit and look. And we do not. So we're moving on to the next one. Mount Frakes. Sorry, guys, I got a little bit lost here. Mount Frakes. We have to back out. There we go. Mount Frakes is a prominent shield volcano marking the highest elevation in the Prairie Mountains and Murray Bird Land, Antarctica, and is the third highest volcanic elevation on the continent. I'm sorry I don't have a better view on this one. Franklin Island. Some of these have good views and some do not, so it's kind of odd. Anyway, Franklin Island is here. Franklin Island is the eroded remains of a shield volcano that formed 4.8 plus or minus 2.0 million years ago. The vent is now submerged off the east coast. So we'll look over here. Franklin Island's here. And if you go over this area, this is where the vent is submerged. Our next one is Gusberg. Gusberg is an extinct volcanic cone, 1,214 feet high, fronting on Davis Sea immediately west of the Pasadowski Glacier and Kaiser Wilhelm II Land in Antarctica. I saw weird stuff over here. It's probably ice shells and stuff. And moving on to the next one, Mount Haddington. You can see it's here. Mount Haddington is a massive 5,350 foot high shield volcano comprising most of James Ross Island and Graham Island, Antarctica. It is 37 miles wide and has had numerous subglacial eruptions throughout its history, forming many tuyas. Some of the single eruptions were bigger in volume than the whole normal-sized volcano. Wow. And then this is James Ross over here. Moving on to the next one, Mount Hampton. Whoa, we went inside. Okay. Not trying to go inside of here. Mount Hampton is a shield volcano with a circular ice-filled crater occupying much of the summit area. It is the northernmost of the volcanoes which comprise the Executive Committee Range in Marie Byrd Land, Antarctica. Hang on a second. What? Huh? Under the sink. And you can see the crater is here. Mount Harcourt. Mount Harcourt is a stratovolcano, which is 1,570 meters high, making up the Beethoven Peninsula, Victoria Land, Antarctica, extending into the Ross Sea about 375 miles south of Mount Erebus, along with 3 overlapping shield volcanoes. So that would be 1, 2, 3. Our next one is Hudson Mountains. Wait for it to load a little bit better. Hudson Mountains is a group of parasitic cones forming nanotacks just above the Antarctic ice sheet in West Ellsworth Land. Mount Melbourne. Mount Melbourne is a massive stratovolcano that makes up the projection of the coast between Wood Bay and Terra Nova Bay in Victoria Land of Antarctica. It was discovered in 1841 by James Ross, who named it for Lord Melbourne, British Prime Minister, when the expedition was being planned. Now, I don't know, we may have a view on this one, so let's back up just a little bit. Some do and some don't. And there's not one on this one. Moving on to the next one, Melville Peak. And we're off in the ocean here, you guys. Melville Peak represents an eroded stratovolcano of unknown age and contains a volcanic crater at its summit. A volcanic ash layer similar to the composition to Melville Peak has been identified 19 miles away from the volcano and may indicate Melville Peak has been volcanically active in the last few thousand years. I believe the ones they're talking about are the ones here under the ocean here. Those are where the marks went. Moving on to the next one, Mount Morning. Mount Morning is a poorly dissected shield volcano. Morning Glacier has a glacier named in association with Mount Morning, which is Morning Crater. So Mount Morning Glacier is here, and this is Mount Morning here. So we'll go to Morning Glacier, which is over here, and this is Morning Glacier. And moving on to the next one, Mount Moulton. Mount Moulton is a broad ice-covered shield volcano standing 10 miles east of Mount Berlin in the flood range, Marie Byrd Land, Antarctica. Check these out. Always come in here, zone and look at the rocks. Mount Murphy. Mount Murphy is a massive, snow-covered, and highly eroded shield volcano with steep rocky slopes. It is directly south of Bear Peninsula, Murray Birdland, Antarctica. The mountain is bounded by Smith, Pope, Hines glaciers. You can see how big it is. So let's see here. Do a tilt. And it's huge. Mount Overlord. Mount Overlord is an extinct stratovolcano situated at the northern west limits of Deception Plateau, 50 miles inland from the Ross Sea and just east of the head of Aviator Glacier. In Victoria Land, its asymmetrical cone is on the edge of a plateau above Aviator Glacier. While most of the cone is ice-covered, Mount Overlord does have a 1.2-mile diameter caldera. You can see the caldera is over in here. Volcanic rocks from the western slope have been dated to about 7 million years ago, so the volcano is thought to be extinct. And this is over here, this is the caldera. Paulette Island. Paulette Island is composed of lava flows capped by cinder cones with small summit crater. Geothermal heat keeps part of the island ice-free, and the youthful morphology of the volcano suggests that it was last active within the last 1,000 years. And there are some views over in here, so we're going to go here and look. Check out the penguins. Wow, look at all those penguins. Sorry, you guys, it's not clear view here, but lots of penguins. And moving on to the next one. Penguin Island. Penguin Island. Oh, we're just at Penguin Island. Penguin Island is capped by a Decon Peak, a basaltic scoria cone. Decon Peak was last thought to be active about 300 years ago. Petrel Crater, a Mar crater, is located on the east side of the island and is thought to have last erupted in or about 1905. Okay, so it's one of them, and that's the other one here. And we'll see if we have a view. And we do. We're going to go this one first. So we'll look at one of the craters first. And it looks like we're in it. You can see there's a lake here. Okay, so that's one. And then we're going to go look at the other one. And this is the other one. And it doesn't appear to be any lake in this one. It's like rocks. Check that out. And moving on to the next one, Peter Island. Peter Island in the Bellingshausen Sea, opposite Ellsworth Land, is a morphologically youthful shield-like volcano. A 100-meter wide circular crater is found at its summit. The island was discovered by the Russian explorer Bellinghausen in 1821. Extensive summer pack ice and its isolation far away from regular shipping lanes have restricted visits. Dated samples range from 0.35 to 0.1 million years old. The unmodified volcanic form of the upper part of the edifice suggests that parts of it may be Holocene or even historical in age. Wow. And we'll see if we have a view here at all. And we don't, thanks to restricted visits. We're restricted even on Google. Okay, Lars Christensen Peak. Also known as Lars Christianstappen, is the highest point at 5,381 feet on Peter Island off the coast of Antarctica. The peak is a shield volcano. It is not known whether it is extinct or not, for the upper part is apparently unmodified by glaciation. The peak owes its names to Lars Christensen, the ship owner of the SSS Odd 1, a whaler that circumnavigated the island in January of 1927. And I don't know if there's views here, but we can look, and I don't see any. So we're moving on to the Pleiades. The Pleiades is a group of youthful cones and domes, with Mount Pleiades, a small stratovolcano, being dominant volcano of the rising 500 meters above the Evans Neve Plateau. 3 nested summit craters lie at the top of Mount Pleiades. Tegete Cone in the Pleiades was dated at 3,000 years, making it one of the youngest volcanic centers in Antarctica. we have no views here. So we're moving on to the next one. Royal Society Volcano Range. We're on top up here. The Royal Society Range contains over 50 basaltic vents ranging in size from tiny mounds to cinder cones up to 985 feet high. Dating of surface material indicates they were active earlier than 1.5 million years ago. Seal Nunataks. These have been described as separate volcanic vents of ages ranging from Miocene to Pliocene. They are unconfirmed reports of Holocene volcanic activity. I don't know, there may be views here or not. And there is none. And more. Mount Sidley. Mount Sidley is the highest dormant volcano in Antarctica, a member of the volcanic Seven Summits, with summit elevation of 13,717 feet to 14,058 feet. It is the highest and most imposing of the 5 volcanic mountains that comprise the Executive Committee range of Mary Bird Land. The feature is marked by a spectacular 5-kilometer wide caldera on the southern side and stands northeast of Mount Wasatch in the southern part of the range. So you can see this is the caldera here. Let's see if there's a view in this area at all. Would be neat if there were. There isn't. So wait, is there? No, there's not. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next one. Mount Simple. Mount Simple is a potentially active Antarctic shield volcano rising 10,203 feet and dominating the south-northwest part of Simple Island, which is separated from the Bacchatis coast Marie Bird Land by the Getz ice shelf. It is capped by a 2.5-mile wide to 3.1-mile wide summit caldera, and the tuff cone lies on the lower flanks. That is like really cool looking. The next one is Mount Steer. Sorry, you guys, I don't know what that crackling is. Mount Steer is a prominent shield volcano standing 4.1 miles north-northwest of Mount Frakes in the Prairie Mountains of Marie Birdland, Antarctica. Mount Takahi. Mount Takahi is a large snow-covered shield volcano standing 64 kilometers southeast of Tony Mountain in Marie Birdland, Antarctica. It is roughly circular, about 29 kilometers across, and has a caldera of up to 8 kilometers wide. At 780 cubic kilometers, it is a massive volcano. The volcano may have last erupted during the Holocene, and thus it is probably a potentially active volcano. Wow. So this is this one. Our next one is Mount Terror. Mount Terror is a large shield volcano that forms the eastern part of Ross Island, Antarctica. It has numerous cinder cones and domes on the flanks of the shield and is mostly under snow and ice. It is the second largest of the 4 volcanoes which make up Ross Island and is somewhat overshadowed by its neighbor, Mount Erebus, 19 miles to the west. This is Mount Terror here. Tony Mountain. Tony Mountain is an elongated, snow-covered shield volcano, 38 miles long and rising 3,595 meters in Bridgman Peak, located 35 miles southwest of Kohler Range in Marie Birdland, Antarctica. A 3-kilometer wide summit caldera tops the volcano. Slopes of the volcano features parasitic cones, vents, glaciers, and quarries. Mount Wasatch. Mount Wasatch is a large, prominent mountain of volcanic origin, standing immediately southwest of Mount Sidley and marking the southern end of the Executive Committee Range in Marie Birdland, Antarctica. Shepherd Island. Okay, you guys, this is the first time I'm going to do this. I am going to end my video here. I'm going to go through these last few real quick. I'm going to post on my site the information for each one. My computer is doing this static thing, so I don't know if I'm being heard. Anyway, the next one is a Biglio. This one is Taylor Valley. This is Taylor Valley here. Next one is Trans-Antarctic Mountain Foothills. Next one is Mason Spur, which is here. The next one is Hut Point Peninsula. The next one is White Island. You can see this is the island here. The next one is an unnamed. And there's actually 2 unnamed. And information will be on my website along with the map and video. And you can use the map, download the KML, use it on your Google. The next one is Mount Rittman. The next one is Beethoven Peninsula. The next one is Melville. I don't know what this static is. And it's worse now. Livingston Greenwich Islands. The next one is Barnett Island. And the next one is Beethoven Peninsula. And you guys, thank you for viewing my video. Please check out the website. Please like and subscribe, and please share. Thank you, and God bless.